welcome back to part 4. In this part we'll be talking about once you get here, how do you get set up. So as far as accommodation, there is several different types you can choose. You can go with an apartment, which is probably the easiest and the most common type. You can find an apartment anywhere from 10 million VND, which is about $400 for a 2-bedroom, all the way up to $1,000 or more for a 2-bedroom apartments. On the low end, maybe 8 million, so like $300-400, all the way up to 1,000 plus, however much you want to spend. Or you can go with a house, which usually will not be furnished, but you can get a house usually for the same price as an apartment, around 10 million VND, 15 million VND, which is around $400 or $500 for an entire house, where you can have 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and then a living room with a kitchen and several bathrooms. In fact, I had a house here for 5.5 million, which is around $250 a month, but that was in a little bit further away district, Nha Be district. It was a new house, 3 floors. I had a kitchen on 1 floor, then a bedroom on the next floor, then an office up above that, and on top was a rooftop for like $250, but it was empty. So empty house, that means you got to furnish the whole thing. I had to buy a refrigerator, I had to buy the table, the chairs, the office equipment. Even some houses I've had to buy the air conditioning units and install a hot water heater for the shower. And so you have to keep that in mind if you're getting a house. You also need to be responsible for the maintenance. If something's going wrong, oftentimes when you call the landlord is just going to call another freelance mechanic or somebody to fix the problem. So if you have people, a network of people who know how to fix things, or you know how to fix things, a house might be a good option. Otherwise, a service department where it's in the contract that they will fix and repair might be more convenient for you. But if you want to save some money in the long term, you can go with a house, depending on how long you're going to be around. If you're a short term, maybe you just stick with renting a room or apartment. But if you want to be here a long time, you can have a house set up where you have a little studio or a little office or a little exercise room, and you have the entire building, so you don't have to go past security or have neighbors or anything in your space. You can just have the whole place. So those are the different types. You can also just rent a room. Like there'll be many apartments where they'll have a house and then everybody's renting a room in that house. My first place was around 5 million VND, which was just a little room, a bedroom with a desk, a wardrobe, and a bathroom, and no kitchen. But it was just $200 over there in District 1 on Win Tim and Kai, 18A, Win Tim and Kai. My first room didn't even have a window. I moved here, it was 11 o'clock at night. I knocked on a bunch of doors. I didn't realize that 18A was a whole street. I thought that it was just one place, but 18A was actually a whole alley. So I pulled up thinking I'm going to a house, but then it's actually a whole alley, and I just had to go down the street. Some of the foreigners that got there, they're just like, yeah man, just walk down the street and knock on the doors that you see for rent sign, and then see who's gonna let you stay there. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I'm out there with a backpack, knocking on doors. Eventually I found a spot. I just stayed there a night. I moved into another place for like a month. It didn't have any windows. The window it did have opened up to like a staircase. And then I moved across the street to a place. It had a window, but that window opened up to a school. Like there was a school right behind it, like a few feet away. So every day at 7, you hear the bell ring, you hear the kids screaming, you hear every class going through there. So that was my first spot. Then I moved to a place in Bintan. This place had a kitchen, had another bedroom. So slowly I found better and better places, and eventually I got a house, a 3-story house, several houses, and then I eventually had a farm in Bintan after the lockdown, 2,000 meter square farm that had chickens, ducks, fruit trees, and this house was only 9 million a month, which is like $300 something for a farmhouse. And I've had beach houses in Moine for like 3 million a month, which is $120. I've had a bunch of different real estate here. Every 6 months or a year, I'm able to explore a new place, and then I've seen a lot of different types of accommodations. So here you can really find whatever you're looking for within whatever price range is suitable for you. And so how do you find these places? You can go to a website called Chotot, CHOTOT.com, which is similar to Craigslist. And here you can find a variety of listings in real estate, houses, land, apartments, rooms for rent, even businesses and offices. For sale and for rent, you can choose your price range. And then they also have motorbikes on there too. They also have pets if you need a dog, a cat, a chicken, fish. They also have electronics. So they have many things on there. And then secondary, you can find on Facebook Marketplace or Facebook groups. Yeah, just having people around you, even there have groups for like people that live in your apartment selling things when they leave. So there's a variety of ways to procure. Some of the main districts, well, now we have wards, but formerly known as District 1 was the financial district, a central place with a lot of foreigners. You have District 7, which has a lot of Koreans, a lot of wide open space. And then you have District 2, also a lot of foreigners. And each of those areas, good landing place. You also have District 3, which is pretty good. And now these are known as wards. So stay tuned for a video that updates us about the different wards. I highly recommend you look on Facebook groups such as Apartments for Rent in Ho Chi Minh City, Expats in Ho Chi Minh City, or even using real estate agents. If you need one of my personal agents that I use in Saigon, just send me a message on Facebook, or you can send me an email at myvnconnect@gmail.com. And when you do find a place, make sure that you negotiate. If you want to stay long term, you can usually negotiate the rent with your landlord. Also, make sure you get a written contract, ideally in both Vietnamese and English. And make sure you have a local trusted friend or an agent to review that contract for you. Your deposit will be about 1 or 2 months worth of rent. Make sure that the conditions for being returned to you are very clear. Don't rush into the first place you see, because there's always plenty of options being added every week. Visit the place in person. Check for the noise, check for the water pressure, make sure the AC is working properly, check for the commute time. The traffic can be kind of crazy, so make sure that you factor in your time going to work from the place that you're choosing to live. Don't overpay. Make sure that you're researching the rents for similar places online. If it feels too high, it probably is. And often you can ask a local friend to get the price for you, and make sure you ask whether or not foreigners are allowed to stay there, particularly if you need a work permit done, because landlords who do not have the proper registration cannot officially register you, and they cannot give you the resident letter that you'll need for your work permit. Make sure it's a safe place. Make sure that the security is tight. Make sure that if they have security guards, that they're doing their job, or that if they have a key card access, that everything is working properly. All right, thanks for joining us on this one. If you found these videos helpful, leave us a comment below, a like. Let us know what questions you have. What would you like to know more about in Vietnam? And most importantly, when are you coming? Leave a comment below, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Please take care.